In 1976, Andy and Maggie Robin bought a bear cub who grew to be a 10-foot-tall, 50-stone grizzly. With access to an incredible archive, we'll see the highs and lows of living with a feared predator.
It's a challenge. We don't know what's going to happen. This is a bear I've got here.
Could they share their lives with a deadly animal? Or would the beast resort to its wild ways? This is the incredible story of Hercules, the human bear.
I got him! I got him!
Toronto, Canada, 1968. Wrestling promoter Jean Dubois offered $1,000 to anyone foolish enough to fight Terrible Ted, his 7-foot, 40-stone black bear.
Bear gave him a flying bear that time.
To win the money, a wrestler had to survive 15 minutes in the ring with the wild animal.
660 pounds leaning on you, you've got problems.
Andy Robin, a young Scottish wrestler, was up for the challenge.
To wrestle Terrible Ted was a feat itself.
The bear has got a muzzle on, but I don't think it covers his entire mouth.
This guy was trying to kill me. He was trying to wrestle me. If he hadn't had the muzzle, I'd had no head left. Many a man was taken away injured and tried to wrestle with bears because they're so quick, man. You need to be nuts to wrestle with them.
Andy lasted the full 15 minutes. He walked away with a $1,000 prize and an idea that was to change his life.
I got a great feeling on him, even though he was trying to kill me. It was crazy, but I enjoyed it. I was looking for a bear to take home with me, to make him a star. And that's what I wanted. You've got to take the risk. You wouldn't do nothing if you didn't take risks.
On returning to Scotland in the 1970s, Andy became obsessed with taming his own wrestling bear. Previous attempts at keeping bears for entertainment had had disastrous consequences, but Andy dreamed of defying the odds. He planned to raise the bear at his Sheriffmuir Inn home near Dunblane, a home he shared with his wife Maggie.
I'll never forget the day he said, "What would you think if I said I wanted to get a bear?"
I said, "I'm going to buy a grizzly bear." And I'll tell you, she says, "What? A real bear?"
It wasn't like something you thought, "Oh my God, are you off your head? Are you crazy?" You just went, that would be lovely.
Andy and Maggie began their search, ringing around various zoos and parks, hoping to find a spare cub. A 100 miles away in Kincraig, Wildlife Park manager Eddie Orbill had the opposite problem. He had a pregnant brown bear and no room for her cubs.
Really, they weren't worth anything. You could give him away to a zoo or wildlife park, or unfortunately, they have to be put to sleep, and that's what would have happened.
When Andy heard about the plight of the cubs in the local paper, he set off to see Eddie.
There was a knock on the door on a Sunday afternoon. I thought, who the goodness is that? We were approached by Andy Robin. He turned up at my back door and wanted to buy a bear. And he wanted to take it there and then. I said, no. They're going to stay with their mother until we're ready to let them go. So he agreed to that.
They said, "Yes, you can have a bear." He was like, "What? Oh, can we?" And how much is that going to cost? And he said, "Well, what about £50? Just like that. And we thought, oh, that sounds quite reasonable, really.
And he gave me the money straight away. He was desperate to get this bear.
Andy and Maggie visited regularly over the next 6 months. They took him home on the 20th of September 1976. He already weighed 13 stone and stood 4 feet tall. They named him Hercules.
And this was the start of his life. Is it going to work? And is it not going to work? After all, it's a challenge. We don't know what's going to happen. This is a bear I've got here, one of the ferocious animals in the world.
Maggie, a successful show jumper, knew how to handle large animals, but neither she nor Andy had any experience of raising a grizzly bear. Andy wanted to start turning Hercules into a wrestling star straight away.
When he goes into the ring wrestling, he's going to play. But when he's playing, he'll have the strength of 4 men.
The rapidly growing bear needed to be tamed before he became too dangerous to handle. Andy devised a training regime of back-breaking cross-country runs and sparring sessions in his purpose-built ring.
This is Hercules getting taught to go into the wrestling ring. All the way he can get us up a ladder. A good boy. Behave now. Behave.
Over the next 12 months, Andy trained with Hercules every day, determined to make his dream come true.
Goodbye, Grizzly.
The young bear was gaining 20 pounds a month and soon weighed more than 30 stone.
Have you had a few bad bites?
Oh, I've been bitten all over the body. But it's not bad. It's only playing. But let's forget it. It's a very, very dangerous thing to wrestle Hercules. And if he hooks you accidentally, if he catches any part of your body, you're a goner. Let's put it that way. If he gets in a bear hug, you're finished. You break your back if you weren't in the right place. When you turned over, you had to be quick, so you were on your back. I had to be supple to get out of the way of him a lot of times. It was just myself saving my life a lot of times.
Hercules now towered over Andy and was twice as heavy. But at 18 months old, he still wasn't tame. Andy's dream was in danger of becoming a nightmare.
I couldn't trust him. I said to Maggie, my wife, I said, he's going to guzzle me. He's going to trip me up out there, and I've had it someday.
During one training session, things came to a head. Hercules deliberately tripped Andy and pinned him to the ground. Andy couldn't move and thought that the giant grizzly was about to kill him.
Yeah, the big grizzly on top of me. And he stood back. And he just stood back. And looked up at me like that, looked at me. He says, I'm your friend. I'm not going to bite you. And I ran home. And I said, I'm ready. We've got to start in the making now.